Hey everybody, this is Perch, and I'm here with Joe. How you doing, Joe?
I'm all right, Perch. How are you?
I'm good. I'm hoping you can loan me some of these royalty checks that are about to start pouring in from City of Bruce.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh, it's
I mean I don't know if you read it, but Webtoon, this new deal that DC has,
yeah.
their premiere story is basically that Bruce Wayne has kids all over Gotham.
It is. I read the first three chapters because they're free, and yeah, it's a bunch of kids fighting over cookies and almost letting a bank get robbed.
No,
So
that sounds like Batman.
yeah,
Yeah. You do you feel like how much? I mean, it is kind of your City of Bruce idea that they're doing here. Do you feel like justified? Like, haha, I you're a trendsetter.
you know, gotta be honest with you, I kind of do. It's a
Yeah.
little.
Okay.
It's a little. You know, City of Bruce has been something that's been talked about for most of this year,
Yeah.
and if not this whole year, basically.
It was a
So
pandemic idea.
it was, and your followings really like doubled since
Hmm.
we talked about it. So that can't be a coincidence.
Yeah. I,
Yeah,
I I credit everything to say I should wait a minute. I should be paying you royalties. That's
yeah.
Um, so this is, of course, a tongue in cheek a little bit. This isn't the way, at least I had envisioned City of Bruce, which was going to be a lot darker than this slice of life kind of webtoon comic. But you said you read the three issues. What did you think?
Yeah, it's great for Webtoon. It feels like the kind of stuff a lot of people are putting on
Hmm.
Webtoon. A lot of like it feels like the kind of thing some like indie post ironic 20 something would do with these characters. So
I mean, I'm foreseeing future adventures of like somebody steals the keys to Bruce's car and he doesn't know, and that creates silliness, or maybe somebody breaks a window and they blame each other, or maybe Damien kills a homeless person and stuffs him in the cabinet. I mean, one of those. That feels like
there's
the storyline.
yeah, there's going to be a lot that are different characters on dates that also have to slip away to fight crime.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
and we are almost certainly going to have another idea I mentioned on your live stream, the one you weren't on with when it was just me, Sean, and
a
Jeff.
good one.
The good one,
Yeah,
the Discord in the family where they're all on Discord, but they don't have Bruce on it, and Damien's not on it because he's too young, and then he finds out and gets mad about it. Like, I would be blown away if that didn't happen in
yeah.
this iteration. That is almost a guarantee.
So you mentioned this series, reading it, which seemed fine to me. I mean, I
Sure.
read a couple other while I was over there. I gave them more clicks and read a couple other comics that are being promoted on Webtoon right now, and they all are
Yeah.
kind of this. A lot of them seem this way. It very much fits the other content that's there.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a win for DC. Like they're putting content that fits the platform on the platform that it's made for, and that's what more could you ask for? That's really what you should do. There were no school shootings, for example, in any of the comics that I read.
There weren't any school shootings, although there might be a school photo shoot. And,
Uh,
I just hope they're not all sweaty and gross from fighting crime beforehand,
yeah,
but they probably will be.
God damn it. Yeah, that sounds insufferable. But you mentioned this seems like a good thing for that platform, but they've been trying to do. When I was reading it really felt like some of the stuff that I've seen printed
Yeah.
from like some of Jeremy Whitley's comics, or
Mhm.
some of those that same kind of feel, which always seem really tone deaf and pointless in a printed comic book sold in a comic shop frequented by people in their 30s.
Yeah. No, this is where these things should be. For
Yeah.
sure, 110%.
So why do you think it's just kind of confusion about what to put where that's going on, or like Marvel in particular keeps trying to do this kind of story printed in a monthly comic, and they don't sell well at all, and yet clear I think the audience is there for them, just not in what they're doing. Do they just not know what they're doing, or what's why do they do this?
You know, I don't get that, but yeah, this makes sense. The YA line stuff also makes more sense, and I imagine we'll be getting a lot of that kind of stuff from like Michelle Wells and Jamie Rich over at Tapas, who they are almost certainly working on stuff similar to this in like tone, just without the IP. I imagine Michelle Wells is going to start going through a lot of the different authors and artists she worked with on that YA line. And some people might not know this, but Jamie Rich was at Oni before he was at Batman, and he was doing a lot of those kind of comics years and years ago. So I think we're going to be getting a lot of this kind of stuff to continue to dominate those major platforms, and yeah, we're going to be getting a lot more stuff like this. Hopefully, not complete carbon copies. Like it's not going to be it's Wonder Woman with Yara Flor and Cassie Sandmark and Donna Troy and Nubia, who will be whatever age we need her to be to make this work, and and Hippolyta. Yeah, it's like okay, and so we'll probably get something like that, and then I mean, they could do literally the same thing with the Flash. There are somehow, if there's one family that might be larger than Bruce's, it might be the Flash's. So
well, he's quicker. He can spread his seed faster.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of because of the scrolling format, we're going to get a lot of Flash comics with the aerial view of like lightning, like boom, 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 like going down like a pinball. So it's going to be a lot of that, folks.
That's yeah. Now this isn't for me. I would say this isn't the kind of content that I'm particularly interested in. I think slice of life done well, I think can be fine. I like Rumiko Takahashi and others who were good at that. This feels like slice of life light. I like the comics that they would give away with Serial. But do you think that maybe them finding success on a platform like Webtoon for this kind of work, do you think then it helps to focus the printed comics where the printed comics don't try this stupid nonsense?
I'd like that. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, this could also end up. I think what's more likely to happen is if this does get really popular, and the numbers right now show it's trending pretty high. They're putting a lot of effort into this. That this could end up being a big hit for them. So I think the lessons tend to be something's a hit. We've got to run this into the ground in every outlet we have. So I imagine this is the kind of thing, if it's a runaway hit, we'll get the cartoon, we'll get more floppies that are like this, we'll get original graphic novels that are like this, and just keep that going.
Well, that would be terrible.
Probably.
Yeah. Why is it such a hard lesson to simply say, different venues, different mediums work for different audiences? And you've got this web platform that people can read on their phone, one panel at a time, great for casual readers, going to skew maybe younger. People coming to Webtoon are used to this kind of content. Put that there. People are going into a comic shop, driving to a specialty store, paying $5 a comic or more, are going to skew a lot more kind of continuity, darker, kind of history rich.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like rocket science. It doesn't feel like any kind of hard lesson. I guess I'm struggling with comic publishers not understanding this very obvious lesson.
Yeah, well, it feels like they haven't understood or gotten lessons in decades, so why start now?
Okay, well, fair enough. That's very depressing. All right, well, yeah. You mentioned the Flash. Wonder Woman as a family. Green Lanterns. There's plenty of them.
There's tons of Green Lanterns, and each Superman of them have an older person who can be kind of wise, slightly grumpy, but actually has a big heart and is really looking out for everybody. And then there's always room for the one bratty character who, is kind of a curmudgeon, is rude to everybody, but really has a big heart. And then there's going to be like the older brother kind of character who is stern with everybody and is really trying to, keep everyone on track, but has a good heart. And then, there's like the middle child kind of character. Like in this, it would be like your Jason Todd, who, he acts that he's more, like violent. He's willing to like do whatever he has to do to get things done. He's always looking for, approval in a sense, but he's got a big heart. And then you got someone like Alfred, who's he's like the older, wiser. He's really like this like grandfatherly character, and he's got a lot of wisdom, and he shares it in little bits and pieces because really he's got a big heart.
What?
That's how these are all going to go.
Well, thanks for that stirring view of the future there, Joe. Do you think Marvel will follow suit and do something similar? Are they going to sign their own web deal and start having Avengers slice of life stories?
Well, unfortunately for Marvel, they never followed suit with DC creating these legacy characters and all these like just dozens of redundant characters and just swapping mantles left and right the past few years. So I don't really think they have enough people to do that with.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that checks out. That doesn't sound like Marvel.
Yeah, no.
All right. Well, Joe, thank you very much. And curious what people think of this new Webtoon adventure. And go check out people with big hearts.
Absolutely. And if you have a big heart, please go to a doctor.